taking that leap and making the All-Star game for the first time?
My boy in the Lakers. What's his name?
Reeves, AR.
Yeah, AR.
Ooh, yeah, he definitely.
AR is he's not a definite, but
He's a definite.
If he does not make the All-Star team, I will be.
Wait a minute, no, he's not gonna make it. No, you can't get 3 from the Lakers. You can't get 3 from the Lakers.
AR is going to make.
So it's
Bron didn't even
3.
play in the All-Star game last year.
Bron is in the All-Star game.
Bron is not in the All-Star game this year. Bron is not in the All-Star game. For what?
LeBron James is about to get voted into the All-Star game again, most likely as a top vote getter, maybe even number 1. Millions of fans are lining up to vote for the king, and here's the wild part. There's a real chance he won't even show up again. Kevin Garnett just went on his podcast and finally said out loud what a lot of people have been thinking. And his message to fans, it's gonna make plenty of people uncomfortable. All-Star voting just kicked off this week. Normally, this is a celebration. Fans get hyped, players push for votes, and the whole league buzzes with excitement.
Bron does not want to play in the All-Star game.
He's going to get voted in.
Bron does not want to play in the All-Star game.
He's going to get voted in, though.
So listen, all you people out there that's going to vote for Bron, save your vote.
But on a recent episode of KG's podcast, the vibe completely shifted. They were breaking down All-Star predictions, running through the Western Conference, debating who's in and who's getting left out. Then LeBron's name came up, and that's when KG dropped a bomb. He'll get voted in, but he doesn't want to be there. Save your vote. That's exactly what KG said. Straight to the point. Don't waste your All-Star vote on LeBron James. His reasoning was brutally simple. LeBron didn't play in the All-Star game last year. He doesn't want to play in the All-Star game. So why would anyone expect him to show up this time? When someone tried to push back and said LeBron would obviously still get voted in, KG wasn't hearing it. Yeah, he'll get the votes. He'll probably be the number 1 vote getter in the entire league.
He didn't play in the last year.
Damn.
Why would you expect him to play this year?
I can't bring 3 from the Lakers, though.
Listen, Bron is not playing in the game.
He's definitely going to be in the All-Star game.
He's not.
He's going to get voted. He's going to be the number 1 vote getter.
He will not.
But that doesn't change anything. He's already made his position clear. And this is where things get even spicier. The 2025 All-Star Game is being held in Los Angeles. That's right, LeBron City, at the brand new Intuit Dome. You'd think that would change everything. Home city, home crowd, the biggest stage. But based on what KG is saying, don't count on it. And KG wasn't finished either, because the conversation quickly turned to what all of this means for the Lakers specifically. This is about someone who would have treated the All-Star selection like the honor it's supposed to be. KG has always been loud about respecting the game, about showing up when it counts, and you could hear that emotion all over his voice during the podcast. There was real frustration there. Not hate toward LeBron personally, but frustration with how this whole situation has unfolded.
2 Denver Nuggets.
Go.
You're going to get
Portland's none.
You're going to get 2 OKC, maybe 3.
Portland's none.
Okay, I'm showing where you're
Utah's none.
Yep. You're going to get 1 Golden State,
Phoenix.
1 Golden State.
1 Golden State.
You're going to get
2 Houstons.
You're going to get 1 in Minnesota.
1 in Minnesota.
You're going to get, 2 Houstons, yep. And then you're going to
No
get,
Utah, no Portland.
You're going to get 1 San Antonio.
1 San Antonio.
Yep. And then you're going to get
2 Houstons.
Yep.
How many are we at now?
1 Dallas. No Dallas.
No Dallas. Damn, you might get 3 Lakers, huh?
I just told you. Boom. And it's LA? No Clippers?
No
Hell
Clippers.
yeah, you get 3 Lakers.
To KG's generation, the All-Star Game actually meant something. If you got voted in, you showed up. No debate, no excuses. That was the code back then. And this is where the generational gap gets impossible to ignore. KG grew up in an era where the All-Star Game carried real weight. It was a measuring stick, a moment to prove you belonged with the elite. KG made 15 All-Star teams in his career. 15, and he never treated a single one like it was optional. Same thing with the guys he battled against. Kobe showed up and played like it was the finals. Jordan turned All-Star Weekend into a personal statement. Those weren't just appearances. Those were messages sent loud and clear. The modern NBA runs on different rules now. Load management is normal. Players sit out regular season games all the time. Back-to-backs feel more like suggestions than responsibilities. And somewhere along the way, the All-Star game turned into just another event that stars can skip if they don't feel like it. KG didn't spell all of this out word for word, but it was clear between the lines. When you tell fans to save their votes because a player won't show up anyway, you're calling out where the game has gone and what's been lost. Now, to be fair, there's another side to this story. LeBron James is 40 years old. He's in his 22nd NBA season. The miles on his body are unreal, and at some point, tough choices about energy and priorities become unavoidable. The All-Star game doesn't count for anything on paper. It's an exhibition. Nobody remembers who won it, but everybody remembers who lifted the trophy in June. From a pure basketball strategy angle, skipping All-Star weekend to rest actually makes sense. At this stage, LeBron James isn't chasing All-Star MVPs anymore. He's chasing one more ring. If taking that weekend off keeps his body fresh for the playoff push, that's a trade he's willing to make. Simple math. The All-Star game itself isn't what it used to be anyway. It's barely competitive. Players don't really go hard. Final scores look like video game numbers because nobody plays defense anymore. So can you really blame someone for not wanting to jump into what feels like a glorified scrimmage? That's the argument. But this is where Kevin Garnett and others push back hard. The competitiveness isn't the point. The All-Star game is supposed to be a bridge between players and fans. It's that one weekend casual viewers tune in. It's when kids who can't afford regular season tickets finally get to see their heroes in one place. And when the biggest names in the sport treat that moment like it's beneath them, something real gets lost. Something stats will never capture. Respect, connection, inspiration. Now add the location, and this year gets even more awkward. This isn't some random city. This is Los Angeles, LeBron's home. The city he chose after leaving Cleveland again. The place where he won a championship and built the late chapter of his legacy with the Los Angeles Lakers. Skipping the All-Star game when it's across town hits way different than skipping when it's across the country. KG didn't spell it out word for word, but the optics were loud. 3 Lakers possibly making the team, the game in their backyard, and the most famous Laker of this era maybe watching it all from his couch. No matter how you spin it, that's not a great look. And once you move past LeBron, things get even messier when you look at what this means for the rest of the roster selections. One of the most revealing moments on Kevin Garnett's podcast was watching them break down every team in both conferences. The picture that formed was wild. The talent distribution in today's NBA is straight up strange. Some teams are loaded with all-star level guys, while others don't have anyone even close. In the East, they talked about Detroit Pistons possibly getting 2 selections. Cleveland Cavaliers 1 or maybe 2. Toronto Raptors grabbing 2. The New York Knicks with 2. Philadelphia 76ers maybe sneaking one in despite all their chaos. Boston Celtics with 1. And Orlando Magic had Paolo Banchero locked in, plus some first-time names popping up. KG was especially high on Jalen Johnson from Atlanta, making his first All-Star team. Josh Giddey got love, too. KG pointed out Giddey is putting up close to 30 a night and playing some of the best ball of his career. That's a first-time All-Star waiting to happen. Then you look at the teams getting absolutely nothing. Washington Wizards, 0. Brooklyn Nets, 0. Charlotte Hornets might sneak LaMelo Ball in if he's healthy, but that's shaky. Indiana Pacers could get shut out too. The West is even more top-heavy. Oklahoma City Thunder are stacked. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is a lock, and they could get 2 or 3 total. Denver Nuggets have Nikola Jokic and probably Jamal Murray for his first nod. The Los Angeles Lakers might get 3. Houston Rockets are pushing for 2 with their young core. Meanwhile, whole franchises are stuck watching from the outside, and the Los Angeles Clippers situation is almost laughable. They're hosting the game, yet might not deserve a spot. KG and the crew even joked about throwing someone in just for optics. And yeah, James Harden has actually been playing solid basketball. He dropped 50 earlier this season. He's averaging 26 a night while barely missing time, which makes this even crazier. His name came up as a dark horse, but let's be real. The Los Angeles Clippers could realistically have 0 All-Stars at their own All-Star game. That's wild. No Portland Trailblazers, no Utah Jazz either. Lauri Markkanen is having a solid season, but when your team is stuck at the bottom of the standings, that usually means getting overlooked. That's just how this league works. And then there's Dallas Mavericks. Nothing there either. A few years ago, Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic missing the All-Star game would have sounded insane. Now it's a real possibility. That tells you exactly where Dallas is right now. Add all this up and you understand why roster spots are priceless and why Kevin Garnett sounds frustrated. There are players across the league who would do anything for that All-Star nod. Guys who'd run through walls just to hear their name called. And then there's LeBron James. Millions of fans voting him in, and he still might pass. And here's the part nobody wants to say out loud. This is about legacy. LeBron wants to be remembered as the greatest ever. He's been chasing Michael Jordan's shadow for 2 decades. And that chase isn't just rings or stats. It's perception. How you carried yourself. How you represented the game. Jordan never skipped All-Star games to rest. Kobe Bryant didn't either. KG didn't either. For that generation, showing up was part of the job. You got voted in, you played. No negotiations. When LeBron keeps sitting out, it creates a contrast critics love to attack. It feeds the narrative that his mentality is different, that he calculates what older generation did automatically. Is that fair? Maybe not. But legacy debates aren't about fairness. They're about perception. And right now, the perception is clear. LeBron James doesn't want to play in All-Star games anymore. Kevin Garnett just said it out loud on his podcast, and now millions of fans about to vote for LeBron James are asking the same question. Is there even a point anymore? So what happens next? All-Star voting keeps rolling for the next few weeks. LeBron will almost certainly finish at or near the top of the Western Conference. The coaches will fill out the reserve spots, the rosters will get announced, and then comes the real moment of truth. Does LeBron actually show up, or does he sit this one out? Based on recent history, the smart money says he finds a way to skip it. A little rest, a minor issue, something that gives him cover. But maybe this year is different. Maybe the fact that it's in LA changes the math. Maybe KG calling him out on a national podcast adds real pressure. Or maybe none of that matters at all. Maybe LeBron has already decided that All-Star games just aren't worth his time anymore. And at 40 years old, no amount of noise is changing that. He's earned the right to choose. The real question is whether it's the right choice for his legacy. KG clearly has his stance, and judging by the reaction to that podcast, a lot of fans agree with him. Now I want to hear from you. Is KG right to call LeBron out, or is this just old school thinking that doesn't fit today's NBA anymore? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if this breakdown made you think, hit like, subscribe, and share. We've got more unfiltered NBA talk coming every week. Fire basketball.